Baby, the way that Shawn slapped Adam on his neck, baby, I fell out. But y'all do know Adam had to get his lick back. Adam said, I'm not getting up off this mother table without getting my lick back. You better hear me and hear me clear. Okay? Y'all like up the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into Married at First Sight.
How we get up, just call back, right back. We can spend, then get it right back, man. She just gotta want all of that, so that's why I bought.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's talk about it. Okay. I do believe this episode 15 opened up with Michelle and Cameron. Now, right out the gate, y'all, I'm not featuring, it's some off. Michelle and Cameron, I feel like I've been feeling it for some time, but I'm like, I'm gonna just hold off because they are the better couple at this time in comparison to everybody. But where they really grinded my gears was at the group dinner. The group dinner really was like, who y'all think y'all is? And honestly, the last time they got together, Cameron was kind of on that energy too, like with the things he would say. I was like, damn, Cameron over here acting like he been in a 20-year marriage. Like he been married for about 5 years with kids and all this or that. He talking like he really got experience whole time. You really ain't no different than a lot of the guys sitting down here because none of y'all have really had serious relationships before. Like, you just happen to have an easier girl that's very optimistic supposedly, but she's also very optimistic because she really wants you to pick her at the end of the day. She don't want to be alone. So of course she's going to be, optimistic. I don't feel like she probes enough into you and ish that you may have going on. I do feel like Cameron has nice elements of him. I do feel like he may be a really nice guy, but I just also don't really see him that much different than the other dudes around the table. They just haven't, pried into your stuff enough. Only time we really see him tripping is when he's spazzing out on the damn couch and she go over there to console him and let him know everything is okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like she may get tired of that. But anywho, y'all, best of luck. Michelle and Cameron go over to her auntie house. This is the auntie that helped look after her when her mom had to work. So I'm guessing Michelle's parents may have gotten a divorce at some point. Um, I feel like she don't really reference her dad a lot. So, anywho, her mama's sister helped her out with her. She go over there to see both of them. I believe her aunt and her uncle are like high school sweethearts or something, because her aunt tells this story about how her mama set her up with a 24-year-old when she was getting ready to go to prom and all this and that. Like, they pretty much about had her life mapped out for her. And she like, I don't even much want that man. Okay, so she kind of like ran away from home. I guess she ran to his house or something like that. And they had been together ever since. I love that they've been together for a long time. Okay, they've grown with each other through all of these phases and they're still together, right? So the uncle is talking about the aunt and stuff, and then he turns it on to Cameron and asks him, what does he think that Michelle's superpower is? And Cam is like, her optimism. I feel like her optimism, that is one of her superpowers. So the uncle tells him, I think, that you recognize that it's work or something like that. I don't know if they got into the conversation about the longevity of things or whatnot, losing the passion. And I think that's when the uncle said, you realize that it's work. You have to commit. You have to invest in your relationship. And the more you give it, that's going to come back to you. You just have to always show up, always be ready to invest and commit, okay, through all the different changes and the different phases, right? I don't know. Cameron really does like Michelle's optimism. And I think that that is great. But I don't know. Were the other ladies not optimistic, or like, why did the other ladies leave? Was your mental too much to where they decided to skate out on you? Because I feel like we talked about him having relationships that did not go beyond a certain period. But my question is, I don't remember, and y'all let me know, was there a time where he discussed how those relationships ended? I don't know if that was talked about or not, because I'm wondering, like, did you leave them or did they up and leave you? Is it that you're the problem or you just really could not commit? And so you like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm gonna go ahead and leave. I can't recall. But either way, let's keep going. Felipe and Tori are talking. They have a session with Paul. Tori is confused on Felipe and his desire to want to be single and have sex with all these other people, but also saying that he really likes her and wants to be with her. So she's a little confused and she's like, you know what? I kind of feel emotionally manipulated right now. And she said she don't know if that's his intentions or not. I'm just telling you how it is that I feel. Okay. I don't know if it would be emotionally, I don't know if he's emotionally manipulating you, but it definitely is leaving you confused as hell. Because especially I feel like the manipulation came in my personal when he tried to tell her other people were asking me this and I just answered it. Y'all made me look crazy. Like what? I feel like that may be a bit of manipulation. However, I don't think I don't think him saying that manipulates you. I feel like the other stuff he did manipulated you. However, I am confused and she should be confused because why would you even say that? And you know what? Actually, all of that may be manipulation because when I go back to how I talked about it in the previous episode, I was feeling like Felipe kind of said it as well to get something out of Tori. It was as if Tori may have shut down that department. And so if I tell her that I enjoy hunching on other women, then maybe she'll give me what I want type of thing. So you know what? It probably does come with some type the emotional manipulation that Tori is saying when I look at it like that. So Felipe says that he's not emotionally manipulating her or controlling her. Right. And then this is where Paul is like, I don't think that you're doing that either. And Tori says she's been withdrawing herself lately, but Felipe says that he still wants to be with her at the end of the day. Okay. She's been kind of pulling back as she should. She should have pulled so far back that his ass ain't on the show no more. Okay. Either way, this is where we at. So she said, I think Felipe looked at her and was like, I really want to still be with you and yada yada yada. He said all that. And Tori looked like, I don't believe shit you talking about. I'm not convinced. Okay. But they gonna work on getting back to the bliss and she's gonna give him the space to try and prove himself to her. So good luck, Shawn. Adam and Marissa, they are having dinner. They're reminiscing on the wedding day and the honeymoon phase and what happened and why did the honeymoon phase end so quickly? Because y'all start hunching so damn quickly. Okay. So she tells him eating food. No, I think he asked her, like, what's something that gives you the ick about me? She said, eating food with your hand. Because, baby, the way he was eating that meat, I said, baby, what is that a steak? Is that a rib? Like, what's going on? I mean, it do need to be ate, but goodness. Okay. And then she says another thing that give me the ick is your high intensity for things. Okay. Because it seems to change from week to week. And she ain't lying. He focuses on something else week to week. And it's like, if you're leaning into that, what are you hiding from? Why are you in this space of doing things at such a high level? It kind of makes me think of people that may shop a lot or something, right? They may be when they stressed out, they do a lot of shopping or something like that. Like that's what I'm wondering with him. Like yeah, there is that element of that you enjoy, being active, high intensity stuff, but then she's like it changes week to week. So it's like what's really going on internally that you seem to be running the hell away from. So she says it's a turn off for her. I'm glad she finally said that. Like all of that, it changes week to week. And because you want me to go along with everything that you want me to go along with, I gotta also be high intensity for these same things week to week. No. So she says it's a turnoff. And he's like, oh, it is. Yeah, he's surprised to hear that from her because she never really she finally saying something. Truth be told, when he was sitting up there eating that food, she just sat there and looked at him. She wanted to say something, but she didn't. He could tell, so he kind of gave her that out or gave her that space by saying, what's something that gives you the ick about me? That allowed her to open up the floodgates just a little bit to tell him how she felt. Okay, but he's surprised to hear this. So he tells her that his ick about her is that she's not athletic. And then he says, well, it's not that you're not athletic, it's the fact that you don't use your athletic ability. Tori, please, not Tori. Marissa, please say no. Just say no. Girl, I want to say no to DR. You know what? Don't do that. I want you to just say no. Just say no to Adam. Just say no. I do feel like Adam's DICK could potentially be the DRUG in the situation. However, just say no, girl. And you know you ain't trying to be athletic. if you make a decision on decision day to say yes to this man, and most of the time that you've spent, you have not wanted to do none of the stuff that he wanted to do, nor has he asked you any serious questions about really getting to know you and wanting to do the things that you want to do, you'll be doing yourself a disservice, and you'll be right back at that age of 23 all over again. I feel like these two really do got their mind made up. More so Adam than her. So she tells him he is hard to play with on a team when it comes to her, and then he's hard to play with on the team. He seems to be very, very competitive. Okay. Now, the conversation they was having was a bit awkward for me. It gave Allen Iverson, we talking about practice. Like, y'all sitting up here talking about sports. We talking about sport. We talking about athletic. We talking about activities. Like, no, y'all ain't got nothing else. Y'all have nothing else that y'all could really be talking about. Okay. So he asked her what she would need to say on, what would she need for her to say yes on decision day. And she said she would need him to meet her in the middle with this intensity because it gives her pause. Well, then say no, baby girl, because when y'all was on that boat, that hot tub boat, he already told you what it was. That man said, I plan on amping it up. And with him amping it up, I definitely believe he wants you on that same level with him. He just sat up here and told you one thing that gives him the ick about you is how you don't lean into your athletic ability. He's not going to give you any grace in that department. But good for you to know. Just as much as you told him, I would need you to meet me in the middle. I need you to know that if he don't meet you in the middle, you know what you got to do. So Shawn and Nikki, they they go on a wine date, which was cute. She liked wine and chocolate, so he took her on the date. They do that. He asked her something like, instead of talking about the wine and stuff, like what it is or what it tastes like, let's try to relate it back to something, I guess, in our lives or whatever, to get to know each other better. So she did that. I can't remember how she related it back, but all in all, it was a cute date. Like, she enjoyed it. She believes that the connection has gotten deeper. Okay. And they getting physical. They slowly getting physical. Matter of fact, once they left that day, I guess she had so much of a great date with Shawn that she got real lax. Okay. Like, girl, was it the wine? I don't know if it was the wine or what, because we've seen Nikki have wine before. So, well, I mean, and it's never made her want to do something she didn't want to do. But I'm just like, he weighing you down like that. So they back at the house in the room. I think they could have been kissing, whatever, go in the room. Shawn walks back out with his robe on, halfway exposed, child. And then it sounded like his ass was singing. Baby, Shawn sound like they done got it in. That's what it sounded like to me. Like, Shawn seemed to be very pleased. Then they cut to Nikki, and Nikki over there saying, well, we didn't have sex. Okay. That's what she said. They didn't have sex. You go over there to him. He said that they had, something going on, and it lasted much longer than he expected. And they went deeper. So, Nikki, did y'all have sex? Because the way Shawn talking, it sounds like y'all may have. And I wouldn't be surprised if y'all did, because 1 minute, right, on camera, you'll act like you're not interested. And then when they show the stuff from inside the house, the little, whatever, the little cameras in the house, not the camera crew, but the cameras there, you straddling the man, you up on the man, you willingly giving the man kisses and stuff. So I don't know. But then on the flip, I don't know if you be forgetting them cameras is there or something. And I feel like Shawn may have mentioned this before when they were in a hot tub about how Nikki may act off camera. So I don't know if it's that she has some attraction or she does like him, but on camera, she know everybody else is watching and she don't want her people to see that she that interested, because she kind of cringy and that ain't typically her type. I don't know what the hell going on, but y'all let me know, because I could be thinking about it completely wrong, and that's fine. But I'm willing to believe that it did go down in there. Because if y'all didn't even have sex and she came back and says, yes, we are sexually compatible. Okay. I guess so, honey. Unless y'all foreplay match each other foreplay, honey. I guess he got you turned on like that, girl. I guess she felt down there and felt that wood was a thick and big enough for her. So, yeah. Well, go ahead. Do y'all grown. Do what y'all want to do down there, okay? But what was interesting, though, was when Nikki says that we are sexually compatible and now it's time to connect emotionally for what, a marriage would require. And I'm like, but that's not what y'all been doing this whole time. Y'all ain't been trying to already connect emotionally? Because that's what I could have sworn the conversation has been about. You wanting to connect with him emotionally before y'all even cross those type of lines. So I'm thinking, oh, damn, they must have connected emotionally for her to even want to cross that damn line sexually. So I don't know. I really don't know if Nikki gonna say yes or not. I don't know what the hell going on. Nikki giving me a little bit of Caitlyn, and I've said that before. One way on camera, one way off camera. Just like Caitlyn over there acting all cuddled up with Devin. Caitlyn, you didn't think about them cameras that was in there because it wasn't a camera crew. Now you trust him. But what we saw, Caitlyn, because you forgot about the cameras, was you telling that man, oh, you think I would trust you to lead me somewhere in life? Hell no, no, I would never, or whatever you said. And then now you want to come and be performative with us in front of the damn cameras and act like la 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 la. Yeah, I did tell him I'm gonna trust him a little more to lead and da 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 da. Girl, please, okay. Y'all giving me a little bit of the same. So then Devin and Caitlyn, let's get to them. They meet with her dad. Devin asks what he needs to know about Caitlyn to make things work. And he tells him he has to be chill mentally. You got to be she a laid back girl. You're going to have to be laid back too. Don't be up on her all the time. Like, give her that space. He says, let her just be herself. But when she's grumpy, because she will get that way, she do be acting funny. I'm not even going to hold you. That's her daddy, she do. She be acting, I don't be having time for it, but she be giving us that. But you as her man, don't let her stay in that spot. Try to get her out, get her to go on a walk and do certain activities. But it's like, sir, when she's grumpy, do you know how disrespectful your daughter be though? I don't want to go walk with that. I'm not for the walk. I'm not She can sit over there and let her cool the hell down. Let her cool down a little bit. I'm right. She know I'm right here if she needs some. But I'm not gonna be in there with you talking to me any kind of damn way. No, I want Devin to let Caitlyn go too, because I'm tired of him apologizing for stuff he don't have to apologize for. I'm tired of him not being able to have feelings in the situation and being able to express them. I'm tired of the little things that he does say offending her. I'm sick of it. You're the only person that can express yourself or portray a certain thing, but he can't. It's annoying. That's not healthy to me. That's not healthy. And he gonna mess around and resent you. And probably him damn self for overstaying his welcome in this situation. Let's keep going though. Devin says that he doesn't want to quiet her voice. He says he never wants to do that, but he does want to know how to show up the best way for her. Devin, I feel like you are doing a good job at that. And how we know you are showing up for her the best way is because she keeps bragging about it. She keeps talking about how self-aware you are and how great you are at this. And I've never had a man to treat me like that and be accountable for his stuff so fast. You are doing exactly what the hell you're supposed to do. You over here stressing yourself out on how you could do more when it's not really you needing to alter anything. She needs to. I don't care what nobody talking about. She needs to. It's not always going to be Caitlyn's way up in this. It's just not going to happen. So Caitlyn says that she's working on being mindful of him more. Okay. Her dad thinks that's good because she's been living alone for the longest. And now she got to be in this space with somebody else. So now she got to be considerate of others, which she ain't. But she says she's going to work on that and be more mindful. But okay, girl. So Devin says he's working on not needing her so much. Right? I felt like you stopped that very quickly when she checked you, and I'm with her on that part though. Like, don't be that damn needy like that. Don't be like an Adam child. Slow it down, okay? I'm glad that you're gonna be working on not being that damn needy, okay? But I also feel like some of the things you may have been asking for, like when she ups and just leaves the damn house, and before you even wake up, I can understand that being frustrating. But then also I get that being a part of That's her workout routine. If she got to get up at 5, I wouldn't want to wake my husband up at no damn 5 if I'm trying to go and work out or something like that. I wouldn't. But I do think it's a nice gesture of her to be like, hey, I'm on my way back. I'm gonna bring you some coffee, or you want some coffee, or you want some, or da 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 da. So she's working on doing that. So okay, I guess that's good. Her dad does let them know that when it comes to marriage, more so a successful one, it's gonna be a lot of sacrifice involved. Okay. And I feel like that's true, but at some point, some of that sacrifice, the line gonna have to be drawn, bitch. Okay, especially if the sacrifice is only coming from one side and not both. Like, what? Either way, that's what he said. Daddy had a good point. Sometimes you're gonna do things that your partner doesn't want to do. Like she took David to the damn Taylor Swift concert. He didn't want to go to that, but you could tell he wanted to step into her world just a little bit. No, but I feel like part of it was like, let me go see what the damn hype is about Taylor ass. I ain't never been to a concert. I ain't heard. Let me go see what this is, and then let me step into your world and see what you on. That's cool. So they go do that. That made her super happy. But it's given a little bit to me, Adam, because what else have you, what world of his have you stepped into, Courtney, outside of me, his friends? He done brought Harry Potter to the damn house. He done went to Taylor Swift concert. You ain't gonna start no little rugby game or some shit between you and him and maybe your friend. Like, okay, girl. So let's get to Tori and Felipe because they have date night on a boat in a sauna. It was super cute. I was like, okay, some of these dates y'all doing is cute. I think honestly, the date that Tori and Felipe got, I do believe that that is the date, in my opinion, that Marissa would have preferred with her and that guy. Um, what else happened? So yeah, they're in the sauna, whatever. They come out, they go upstairs, it's candles and stuff like that. I think he got a gift for her. They love a charcuterie board, okay, charcuterie board, whatever they want to call it. And so they're eating. He pulls out their wedding picture. Now, when I saw that, yeah, Tori, that was a piece of manipulation to me too. Cause I'm like, y'all ain't got y'all wedding photos yet. Y'all didn't already have it. And he took one and put it in the picture frame. It definitely was given. Remember that night? Remember this? Don't lose faith in me. And maybe that wasn't really, I mean, maybe it wasn't really manipulation, but he needed to do what he needed to do to remind her, like, remember the love that we had on this day? Even though we didn't know each other and we were complete strangers, remember how we excited we were for this journey? Don't give up yet. Let's be excited like this again. So either way, it seemed like it worked. It was cute. She liked it. She talks about misunderstanding him when he said that he didn't want to overwhelm her. This man said he was talking about his emotions. He was talking about your emotions when you said that? When you said you didn't want to overwhelm her with your emotions? I don't know about that. What type of emotions? Your emotions to want to hunch on other folks, or desires to want to hunch other people? Like what? I guess either way, she accepted whatever he said at the time. I guess because the date was so cute, I'm gonna hear you out. Cool, let's reconnect. They're happy. Gotcha. Let's get to this group session. Cameron. Before we even get in there, Cameron said he not seeing it for any of these couples. You know what, Cameron, I don't fully disagree with you. I don't fully disagree with you. And I barely see it for y'all. I may see it for y'all a little better than them, but I kind of barely see it with y'all. But either way, he brings up the couples not bringing their truth. Are y'all going to bring y'all truth? I feel like y'all are the couple that get asked the least amount of questions. And whatever y'all tell them, people, they take it for face value and just assume that you guys just, were able to work through your own SHI, like by yourselves. Like, okay. So everyone pretty much does speak their, he says that he don't feel like everybody speak their truth. I feel like they do. I feel like for the most part, everybody do speak their truth. Maybe not Adam and Marissa, and people got to pull more out of them. But I feel like Shawn and Nikki keep it honest. I feel like Mecca and Belle keep it honest. Whether Mecca over there being performative or not, his true self comes out. Same thing with Felipe and Tori. Definitely Courtney and Nick when they was damn around. Cause that's all Courtney like to do is keep it honest so she could embarrass mother. So yeah. Adam and Marissa be the only ones they got to pull stuff out of and out of y'all based on, I feel like it's really because of how Michelle shows up. I feel all calming and cool and innocent or whatever. They don't really probe or ask y'all a lot of questions. They just, okay, cool. So are y'all really telling y'all truth? Marissa and Adam start off the conversation talking about what's going on, to take them from, or what's going to need to happen to take them from a yes or to a yes on decision day. Adam says he's been focused on being less intense, but he does want her to meet him halfway. Bitch, heck this thing. Then I feel like you saying what she said. She's focused on being more intense. She wants you to meet her halfway. This girl has been meeting you in all the ways. Talking about you want her to meet you halfway. And you've been working on being less intense. So what would you call it when y'all went on the hot tub date and you want to bust out into some push-ups? Huh? What? Anyway, Caitlin, she asked if he will be happy with her like that. Like, I guess with her being a little more active or whatever. I don't remember. Adam says that he doesn't know. Okay, I guess if she doesn't want to do those things like working out a lot, right? Doing all of that. He said he don't know, but they'll give it their best shot over the next week to see what's what. Nah, if your answer is I don't know, the answer is no. At this point. If it's I don't know, the answer is no. Marissa says the activity level is hard on her anxiety. She likes to have balance and likes to see more of that with him. Nikki asks him about why his partner has to share the same activities as him. Why is that important? He goes on the same exact spiel that he went on, Nikki, when Shawn asked his ass last week. Like, talking about this ex-girlfriend. Why are we talking about this ex-girlfriend and what y'all did when the activity that y'all did wasn't enough to keep y'all together? What we doing? Why are we talking about it? Yeah, because I had an ex and yada, yada, yada. And Caitlin says, well, I got friends. I got friends that have some of the same hobbies, but they don't do everything together. They not super aligned on everything. Adam said, well, I guess you should have met my ex-girlfriend. No, I should not have. That's why she's an ex for a reason. What you talking about? Okay. What you talking about? Why would I need to meet? You should have met my ex though. Okay. And y'all was super aligned on everything. And she's still not with you. She still don't give a damn. And you know what it makes me think? You're trying to recreate whatever that was with that last person. Cause you ain't got her no more. And any part, and that girl must have been that amazing to you, and you probably effed it up. She probably was that amazing to you that now every person you get with, you probably compare them to her. You keep bringing up that ex. And Marissa, you not gonna say nothing? You not gonna say, I'm not her? You not gonna say nothing? Good luck. Shawn asked if his parents talk like him. Baby, y'all, baby, girl, I like this kind of carrying on. So Shawn asked Adam, do your parents talk like you? Ooh. Adam says no. Shawn says, not that anything's wrong with you. Nah, you feel like it's something wrong with him. Not that anything's wrong with you, but people that typically use words like vibes and cooked and ripped. And it's like, what do you mean people that usually use words like? You talking directly about him, but ain't no people. You should just say, I feel like because you use words like vibes, cooked, ripped, you're often using those words to simplify it to one word or simplify your feelings to one word because you don't have the vocabulary or the emotional intelligence to describe what you're actually feeling. Okay. And Adam said, baby, I tell you, everybody in the room was like, ooh, I know I was. I was like, ooh, no, he didn't. No, he did. So Adam says, I love to do an IQ test. Shawn says, no. I didn't say IQ. I said EQ. EQ. There's a difference. Baby, I wanted to know so bad what Nikki thought of this moment. After everything was said and done, I feel like we may have seen like, I feel like, I don't know who we saw. I think, was it Devin? I don't know. After this, we usually get a couple. After the dinner, after the sessions, there's a couple that we watch and get their opinions about that earlier session. I wanted to know what Nikki had to say to Shawn about how he handled Adam's ass. I really don't give a damn about how nobody at the table felt. I don't care about how the experts felt. I don't give a damn what y'all felt. Okay. I wanted to know how Nikki felt. Did Nikki think, oh, you doing too much? Like, I don't like that. Or was that something that was like, check his ass, baby. Okay. Get him together. Because I don't think that Nikki is crazy about Adam either way. When they had another session with the therapist and Paul was checking the hell out of Adam, Nikki was over there like, let them know. Let them know. So I wish they would have put the camera more on Nikki, and maybe Nikki didn't give a reaction at that time, but I wanted to hear that conversation. When you have stuff like this, and you got people at the table going back and forth, especially when black folks involved, baby, I'm gonna be right clear with you. I want to hear what the black folk got to say about it. I want to hear what the black people got to say. Like, I want to know. We got to hear Adam's point of view afterwards, okay? Or in the midst of all of this, maybe not in the car, but Adam felt the way about it. What the black people had to say. So Shawn says if he has a friend like him that use words like that to use those type of words to identify their emotions or whatever, he said he'd explain or he'll have them explain what is the real feeling here? Like, what are you really, really feeling? Can you describe it? Go into detail, say more. Okay. He says vibes can't describe everything. And he right. Because at times I felt like Adam was using the word vibes to not only talk about the mood or the set with people, it was also to talk about sex with Marissa. So I don't feel like Shawn was wrong. And it sound bad, but I slick don't even care how he said it to him. He asked him a question. Like, you got offended. I'm not saying you shouldn't have. Okay, I would love to take an IQ test. Oh, no, I said EQ. There's a difference. Baby, he was wearing your ass out. As a person that came on this show, like you got everything so together yourself, Adam. Like, oh, I do this and I do that, and I'm pretty set, and I da 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 da. But whole time you want Marissa to move in with you and pay half of your bills? No, I'm sorry, I disagree with that. You already got it together. Continue doing what you already doing, right? You make so much money, the most money you've ever made in your damn career. You got it. But either way, so he asked him if he created, and this was a good question though. He asked him if he created a character around something that you're protecting yourself from that keeps you from articulating your emotions accurately. That is a good question. And maybe he didn't create a character. Maybe he wasn't given the space a lot when he was a child to articulate and express his emotions. So now it has trickled over into his adult life and how it affects his relationships and friendships potentially. And see, the way Shawn asked that question, it was good. And I would relate that to my question about the high intense level. The high intensity of activities and things, everything got to be on 10. Why is that? Are you doing that because you're protecting yourself from something else? From what? From what? So I think Shawn articulated that question very, very well. And Adam was shook because he was embarrassed. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be. I think a lot of people would have, especially if he was talking to Felipe, child. Felipe would have been too embarrassed. Like, I get it. Adam starts using all these big words after that. Talking about, I do have a robust vocabulary. Da 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 da. He just started using big words, baby, and says, I only use those words that you're mentioning, because that's how I communicate with my friends. And yes, a lot of times your friends, they don't require you to use all of these big words, okay? They don't require that. But also outside of your friend, you're now entering into a relationship. So I think it's okay for the language to be different. I don't know how many times we heard you say the word cooked this damn season to identify a lot of different things. And so, yeah, we'll probably be drunk as hell if we was drinking to every time you said cooked, like Marissa was drinking it every time a pickleball was mentioned. So yeah, he wasn't wrong with that. But Adam is pissed off. Adam is embarrassed. Okay, that his emotional intelligence was in question. Okay. He's like, how dare you? How you come from my relationship when your relationship is in absolute shambles? I was like, is it? They do got their issues, but it's weird because I feel like Shawn and Nikki have still accomplished a bit more than you and Marissa. You and Marissa really can't even talk to each other or ask each other like real questions. She's too damn afraid to, and you don't give a damn to. So, I don't think that relationship is in absolute shambles. But you mad as hell. That man said it is embarrassing to be acquainted with them. Is it? I'm sure it's embarrassing for them to be acquainted with you. With you. And at this point, it's about embarrassing for Marissa to continue to stick in this situation with you, knowing that you want to be overly aligned with her in every single facet of y'all lives until she had them damn kids. And you're gonna feel like that's a woman's job, right? I'm sure. Um, Child, that's where you and Shawn are similar. Talk about duties of a wife. Anyway, that's what's going on, okay? But the whole time, did y'all catch that Marissa really wanted to laugh? She really wanted to bust out laughing her damn self. It gave me a sense that Marissa was kind of glad that somebody checked him because she's not strong enough to do it herself. So when they get back in the room and they asked I don't know who asked Marissa the question, but they asked her something and she had to defend him. She had to. She had to do it to look like a united front. Saying that he can articulate himself very well. Oh, really? That's not how you be talking in your confessionals? If you got to keep asking him to be serious and stop joking all the time, then he's not articulating himself well. And I feel like when you articulate yourself, it comes with a form of seriousness. Just how serious Shawn was when he articulated that damn question over to your man. But you needed to, defend him, I see. So, okay, girl. Now, Paul and Dr. Lisa, they liked what Shawn said, but they didn't really like, I guess, the tone or how he said it. They felt like it could have been a bit different. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to come at him like that, but like, yeah, but y'all would have came at him like that. And Paul, you want to sit up here and talk about how somebody coming at somebody, didn't you just kind of snap on Felipe? So, but I guess it would have been better if it would have came from you versus coming from Shawn. Oh, okay. Well, either way, he was gonna have to get it, honey. So Mecca and Belle talking, they have a connection. Their bond is getting deeper. So they say, Shawn asks, how long do you think you need to be married before you know you love someone? And Belle says, I don't know. It's kind of hard to put a time on it. I agree with that. She says it's a lot of pressure around saying it now. And that's so true. Like the reality is these people just met like 6 weeks ago. And a lot of times in the world, the reality, the realistic part, it don't take people that long. Some people do say they love a person in 6 weeks and then get married in under 3 months and be together for 30 plus years. Like that's just, I mean, it'd be like that. Right. However, I don't disagree with Bill. I feel like, girl, you don't know. It's hard to put a time on it. She says it's a lot of pressure around saying it. I'm noticing that. It's a lot of pressure about, so we need to say yes today. It's a lot of pressure about saying whether you love somebody. And she's like, I don't know, but I just feel like the things that we're doing, how we show up for each other, how we care for each other, make each other feel good, that's enough. Like those actions are speaking louder. And I don't think she's wrong. Right. So they both plan to go into the decision. They saying yes, according to Mecca. But then you go into the rest of this meeting to embarrass the fuck out of Bill. Like, are you okay? So Shawn says weeks ago he was far away from a yes, but now he's much closer to a possible yes. And I looked at the screen. You and Nikki. You and Nikki get on my fucking. Y'all get on my nerves. Do you hear me? Y'all get on my nerves. The way that she gonna say, we're sexually compatible, but no, we didn't have sex. We didn't do any of that. It's contradicting what he's saying. So somebody lying. Could be him, could be her. Then you come up. No. What Nikki said also on the last episode, she was like, we're getting there, She was like, I think there's space and time for that to happen, him to meet the family. And then in the same sentence, she says, I'm ready now. That's not what you said a second ago. You just made it seem like it was space and time, meaning that could still happen at some point. But then now, you ready now? And then you get this fool sitting over here talking about some weeks ago, I was far away from a yes. But now I'm much closer to a possible yes. After you done got freaky with that lady last night. And you gonna bring your ass up here and talk about a possible. Girl, she should have cussed your ass off on that, off the string. Possible. What? You ain't playing spades and it two and a possible. Is you cool? Yes or no? A possible yes. That pissed me off. Either that or he ain't want them all in his business too much. But that's why y'all there. Anyway, so Shawn says that he and Nikki were vibing. And he vibing on the terrace. Adam said, can't use that word. Can't use that word. He was like, oh yeah, because it doesn't properly convey what my actual emotions or how I feel. I was hollering. Okay. So Shawn says that they're having combos now that they should have had weeks ago, is how he felt. Okay. Um, interesting. Interesting. Y'all having combos now that y'all should have had weeks ago. What kind of combos are you talking about? That mean you wanted it to progress much faster, but I feel like if you guys are having the combos now, I feel like that may be okay. Maybe y'all could have had it 2 weeks ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago. Maybe so. Not weeks ago. Like he said it to me, I took it like from the very beginning, they should have been having those conversations. Well, y'all was having a little struggle. A struggle with communicating and understanding each other's communication style and different things y'all needed to learn about each other. So here we are. I'm glad that you're talking. So Shawn says that no, I think when he was talking, this was when Adam jumped in, baby. I said, baby, Adam pissed. Adam mad as hell that he got checked earlier. So he like, nah, it's my turn. It's my turn to embarrass you. Let's go. So he says they were struggling and y'all were struggling at first. And now all of a sudden y'all doing perfect. Y'all had this one little meeting with the therapist or the expert said that now y'all cool, y'all good. I ain't buying it. Okay, we never needed you to buy anything actually, and that's the problem. Be clear. Okay, so Shawn handled himself, in my opinion, very well with Adam because Adam was really trying to get a rise out of Shawn, and Shawn never gave him anything. He kind of kept the same energy the whole time. And I like that. You was trying to ruffle that man's feathers the whole time. That man was like, child, I've interviewed for positions that's tougher than what you talking about. You ain't finna ruffle me, boo. I liked it. Shawn wasn't going, and I liked it. So he says you guys are sitting like 16 feet apart. And Shawn says, well, we do have two partitions between us. He was like, yeah, how convenient, but I'm not buying it. And I would have said, and that is fine because I never needed you to buy anything. I'm not offering anything to you. I don't need you to buy anything. Like, I wish he would have wore his ass out like that. But anyway, so Adam was like, no, Shawn is like, and that's fine. That's fine. He says, and I get it because all you know is all you've been exposed to. Facts. That's true. All you know is all you've been exposed to and what we share with you. You really don't know. They don't see the footage of what all's going on. They don't see everything. So they don't know. They'll see it at the reunion potential. They watching it like some of these episodes like we watching it now. So it is what it is. Okay. And then Michelle, she piggybacks off of it, right? She piggybacks off Adam, and Michelle says, based on Nikki's body language, she's not getting the sense that he's her person. And I feel like it goes back to what Shawn said, like you only know what you've been exposed to. And I feel like a little bit for me, y'all feel how y'all feel. I do feel like Nikki likes Shawn a little bit. And I feel like when she and I've said this before, when she comes on camera versus how she is when the cameras are not there and we get a glimpse into what's going on, she may think in that same fashion, like y'all only know what y'all are exposed to. Y'all are not aware of the cameras inside. I think she be forgetting. She just be living her normal life. La 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 la, forgetting that they got them cameras that they still using to monitor y'all. So she probably think she not now we're in front of the cameras and my body language may be like this because she still probably try to put up a front that there's distance, but I don't know. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. But that's what Michelle says. She says, based on Nikki's body language, that she's getting the sense that Shawn is not Nikki's person. So Nikki says all this healthy stuff that we've been practicing is only accelerating our ability to connect. And she says they've reached a threshold that she's not going to go into details about because she don't feel like she needs to share that with y'all. But it was nice. And everybody kind of gets the hint that they done had sex or whatever the case is, or they done did a little something sexually. And so they're like, oh, okay then. Yeah. So interesting. She also operates from a space of like, last time I tried to open up to y'all, y'all pounced on me. Y'all tried to snap on me. So now I'm not finna really give y'all a whole lot of too much of nothing. Okay. I felt attacked the last time. So now I know how I'm gonna show up when it comes to y'all. So What's going on, honey? Mecca co-signs what Michelle says and says that he doesn't see the attraction to Shawn. Right. And then Nikki says that she's growing it. He says, oh, I know because I wasn't attracted to Belle when we first met. First of all, you took her conversation from her and made it about your bitch ass. That's one. Two, why did you need to even say that? So if you feel like, oh, I know, because I wasn't attracted to Belle when I first met her, right? And you know that's a possibility. Maybe she does like Shawn. She didn't like him at first, and maybe that attraction is growing. It's kind of like, why would you even say that? Because now I'm like, do you even like Belle right now? What the fuck was that? Belle is gorgeous, actually. That girl gorgeous as hell. What you got going on? Belle said, so you weren't physically attracted to me? And he says, not at the level that felt comfortable to me. What? What? I wanted her to cuss him the fuck out. And you think you having your nails painted and unfinished is what it looks like. You need to go get them redone. If that's what we doing. You think that was comfortable for me? You walking around with these little gold fangs in your mouth? You think that was comfortable for me? I guess it was, child, because she damn sure was giving, as he said, more interested in him than he was into her. I cringe. This man said with time, he was like, oh, okay, this girl is pretty. Is she pretty enough for me? Nigga, you don't even know if you pretty enough for your damn self. The way you be so hard on yourself. The audacity of you. You don't even know if you worthy of being fucking loved, and you got the audacity to ask if this girl is pretty enough for you. Becca say, Belle, say no. Say no. Say no. Say no. He playing on your top a little too much for me. Say no. Say no. And if you want to say it before that day, that's fine. Say no. Send his ass on. Belle says Mecca doesn't think about how to say things, and she felt disrespected. You definitely should have. And it's no different in a sense to what Felipe said when he was like, oh, I like fucking other women, whatever the case was. Even though he was speaking his truth or whatever, it was his turn to talk. I feel like Mecca swiped Nikki's conversation a bit from her just to say that. It was like, oh, I know, because I wasn't attracted to Belle. Like, what the fuck? Like, what that got to do with, we on them right now. What you on? Why would you even, what? Mr. Weave agreed to say yes. Didn't you just say a few weeks ago, oh, when I saw that thing back there, I was a little da-da-da-da-da. You a lying ass guy. You're a lying ass dude. When you saw her butt, knowing every part of her is slim as hell. Not much of big of anything, right? She looks amazing though, in my personal. Then we're gonna hear you say in the previews for the next episode that you like a BIT with big breasts. So do you like one with a big ass too? Or do you like the P-shaped girls? Weird. He can go. He can go. Let that be the last straw. Let that be the last straw, girl. No, ma'am. So in the midst of Belle and Mecca talking, you can hear Shawn talking, and he's still pretty much saying that Nikki not being initially attracted to him wasn't much of an issue for him in the beginning because he felt like all of this is bigger than just 6 weeks or however long. And he was like, it's a journey. And he was gonna give her that time to become attracted to him. But I also feel like, Shawn, you was on some BS when you were talking because you definitely wanted her to be attracted to you sooner. And I feel like it wasn't just a journey, in all honesty, because we've seen you ask that lady on more than one occasion for some affection. And in order for, in my opinion, for her to genuinely give you the affection you wanted, she had to be attracted to you. And that, yeah. So don't say that you had a lot of time for her. You was willing to give her the time to grow to be attracted to you. Not really. Not really. That's not true. Either way, I I did not like Michelle and Cameron's positioning and how they were operating. I felt like they were, first of all, they had her zing, 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 the triangle to let everybody know it's time to sit down. Once everything was done with Shawn and Nikki and all of that, Cameron looks over there to Devin and Michelle now. I mean, Devin and Caitlin, and says, "I've been really interested in hearing about what you guys have going on. So let's hear some updates." The fuck? What? Like they acted like they the experts, and that really irked me and pissed me off. You're a person that hasn't had a successful relationship yet. Your most successful relationship right now is with Michelle, and that's only been a few weeks. Be clear. The best one that you've had in just a few weeks. And when the cameras go away, hopefully y'all are still married. But I was like, y'all getting on my nerves. And the way, again, I said this before, I feel like Cameron and Michelle be operating like this is a game. And maybe that has a lot to do with Cameron's mindset as a coach. I don't know. But it be given they want to be the last couple standing type thing. It's so weird and I don't like it. So Devin and Caitlin are talking, and she says that she pulled back physical intimacy since Cancun. Felipe jumps in and asks Devin if he's hopeful that I guess they'll get back physical. Devin says, yeah, but you can't go into a marriage saying yes when you don't know what half of it looks like. And basically what it sounds to me is Devin is likely not going to say yes to Caitlin because so much of the experience had been halted when they could have been much further. And if this is something I got to put up with long term, I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But also he gives fixer and he's willing to suffer just to prove a point to her, to a person that's probably not going to appreciate it no matter what you do. But Felipe says he wouldn't marry anyone without having sex with them first. Okay, that's you. But if Tori didn't want to do it, you was ready to be all in. Didn't he tell her she didn't have to do that if she didn't want to do that? Eventually she did change her mind and decide to do it. So did you manipulate her into it, or was that actually her decision to make? I'm starting to think Felipe could be a sex addict. And we wish you the best. So a few people said they wouldn't get married because I think the question was asked who here would get married to somebody if they didn't have sex. I think Michelle said I wouldn't do that. When somebody out there that stop lying. Stop lying, little girl. Because if Cameron told you he went on that, for the sake of you keeping and having a husband for the rest of it, you would have not did it. You would have been okay with that. Stop playing. So Caitlin thinks those answers are crazy. She says, we're all adults. And she says, I'm confident in my abilities, his abilities. Like, it's not that big of a deal for me. We don't have to cross that line like that. So Mecca asked Devin if he would stay with someone that he has an inadequate physically romantic relationship. I don't know. Let's ask your ass. Mecca, would you stay with somebody clearly you would that you're not 100% attracted to? Only for you to go on and say that now she's not really your type for real. So would you? Stop playing. So Devin says that sex is important and can be worked on. He says, but everybody doesn't like to do what you want to do. But he says if you're not doing those things, it could lead to somebody cheating. Now, Devin was making an overall point. Overall, he wasn't even talking about his stuff. He was just saying overall. Even though I feel like Mecca asked the question to him directly, he didn't really answer it like directly. I feel like he gave a general point. So then she says it's insane to throw that type of answer out there or whatever the case. She felt the way. So Mecca is like, why would you be mad at him for saying that? Like, what's upsetting you about that? And she says his attitude is piss poor. And that was just bad. No, but your attitude is piss poor. Caitlin. She talk about, well, I was a person that was cheated on. What they got to do with him? And a general statement, which is a fact. What they got to do with him? Devin's trying to explain to her that he wasn't saying that for himself. He was just speaking in general. And Caitlin says, yeah, I hear you, but I'm talking to Mecca. The way she couldn't say shit else to me for the rest of the night, I'm not finna hold y'all. Like the way silent treatment, and that's so immature and petty, and I don't care, but don't talk to me any kind of way, because if you talking to Mecca, make sure you keep talking to her, because I ain't got nothing to say. Silent, mute. I'm gonna give you a reason to be mad. Like, that is so crazy. So then Devin apologizes again, and she tells him that he could just stop it. You could just stop it. Sorry. Okay. And let's not justify the comment. Devin, why are you apologizing? And when you keep doing it to me, it just shows you a punk. I'm sorry. You just a punk. Like, I can't stand it. So Dr. Lisa is reacting how I'm reacting. Like, girl, you reacted to the wrong thing. That man made a general point. What's going on? And I said, because she's always trying to fake shit for the cameras. That's why. She always trying to put on the front in front of people, act like, oh, we're knowing you really don't like that man like that. Stop that. So Felipe asked again, if sex doesn't happen, are you saying yes or no? And Devin says that he isn't forcing her to get to that point. And if they don't get to that point, there are other things that they could do to get him to a point to say yes, basically. So it's also giving he not all in right now. He not. She's going to have to keep opening up. It's Felipe's turn. He says that he is committed to Tori and he's only ever wanted to be with her. Adam said, oh, so you went to therapy and now you all in on Tori too? You sound like Shawn. So Felipe says that he was worried about it not working out and he was worried about telling her his positive feelings and it not working out. And Adam and Cameron like, bullshit. Stop, boy. Stop playing. Stop playing. Adam calls Felipe a clown. I said, no, you didn't. Do you know how many clowns over here missing their mask right now? Every single one of you raggedy is at this table plus Caitlyn. Like, what? How dare you, Pot? How dare you, Pot, call out this kettle? So either way, he goes on to ask, how is she still sitting there and letting him yap like this? Okay? And not be done with him. And then he praises her for being beautiful, this, that, and all of that. And I'm like, hey, yo, bruh, Marissa, we could tell her the same thing. How dare you sit up here and let this man play with your time like that and not be done? You know you don't want the same things as him. You know he ain't got space for you in his world for real. Felipe says they were building distance and he wasn't moving like a husband and he needed pause so he could understand what he was actually doing to her. So Adam, Cameron, and Mecca started digging into Felipe and, calling him out. And it was weird because it wasn't giving genuine to me. It really wasn't giving genuine, like, to really support and have Tori's back type of thing. It wasn't given that at all. It was given for me, Cameron thinking this shit is a game the whole time. Adam was embarrassed and don't want to be the only person at the table embarrassed. So let me embarrass Felipe. He's easier for me to have banter with. And Mecca just wanted to chime in and be a part of it. Mecca, because you sound so stupid. You probably sounded the dumbest at this table the entire night. Mecca says the issue isn't, you saying what you said at the dinner. The issue is that you didn't even tell Tori that in private. What's up with y'all pots and kettles at the table? And the crazy thing I feel is, even though you may have told Belle in private that you were more attracted, she was more attracted to you, I still feel like you shouldn't have said that at the dinner. Now what? Y'all still all on the side. All y'all got a little piece of Felipe in y'all. Okay? Because I wasn't attracted to Belle when we first met. Like, boy, that's probably why you was around there talking to every damn body else at the wedding but her. And then you worried about whether the family gonna like you. Why? You don't even know if you like her ass. Anyway, last one to talk. Michelle says that Tori sounds like he said, I'm not going to hold you, Michelle. You may have been right. Michelle said, Felipe sounds like he signed up for dating at first sight. Is that something that you would want? And so Tori says no, he needs to decide or not, but she's not going to sit up here and deal with the wishy-washy, and it's not attractive. So figure it out. Here go Dr. Lisa. Yes, Tori, you're finally saying it. Instead of letting Felipe call the shots, she's taking the stance. Dr. Lisa, where the hell you been at, baby? Tori has always taken a stronger stance than any woman at this damn table. She may give him the space to fix the shit that she has said, but she about one of the top ones that's taking the stance. Like, where you been at? So Felipe feels like no one had his back and he wished that Tori had his back more. Tori was looking like, bitch, that's because I agree with what they said. And if I agree, I'm not finna have your back. Do what you finna do with that. So Cameron says Devin and Caitlyn, Shawn and Nikki and Tori and Felipe, everybody on that side of the table, they shouldn't be together. None of y'all. Whole time you got Mecca over here and you got Shawn over here. But the whole side of the table, that yeah, none of y'all should really be together. It also gave that Cameron came into this setting making sure he followed the orders of the producers to get a rise out of some of the people. And they positioned them seated that way, perfectly seated that way. And I don't know if that's how Cameron really felt or if one of the producers told him to make sure he let those words come out his mouth. He wasn't fully wrong, but it's like, what makes you think you and Michelle really should be together? Y'all really haven't gone through shit for real, for real. And yes, most of that is likely because of Michelle, because I don't want to call her a pick me at all, because I feel like y'all overly use that damn word, or those words. But I will say that she would be a Marissa too. She would give a lot of passes for SHI as well. And I also question your full authenticity within your own marriage, Cameron. But good luck. That's all I got. You guys can leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Bye.